What's good, my roadies? It's Randy, the REI Rockstar, and today I want to do a video on how to sell your properties, market them, and sell them lightning fast. So we all know the question that pops into our head when we first get started in real estate, which is, what do I do when I have a property under contract and it doesn't sell or I can't find a buyer? Okay, the way that I handle that, guys, is you have to realize if you have a good product, it's going to fly off the shelves. And the way to do that is to make sure that, if you have it under contract, you put that under contract because you did the analysis on it. You did the number parts right. So in other words, as long as you did the steps before this correctly, you shouldn't have to worry too much about your property being sold to another investor. In fact, I'm going to show you a deal that we did so that you'll see the value that we built into it, and you'll see why we sold it literally, I think, in like an hour, which most of that was just talking to the buyer, getting proof of funds and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so if you guys don't already know about me, visit the blog, the reirockstar.com. I got some free tools for you to get started in this business, and got a podcast coming soon. And check out the blog; it's got a bunch of other videos you can check out, and our YouTube channel. So you got to back to real estate here. You got a contract. You have a property under contract. Hopefully, you've already opened escrow on the property, and there's a couple of key things you want to kind of think of when you're marketing the property, and that is, put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Put yourself either in a wholesaler, a fix and flip, a rehabber, rather a buy and hold person. You know, what do they want to see when they want to buy a property? What information do they need to see? How do they need to feel about it? What's going to have them open up their wallet? And, for most of those people, that's going to be the information about the property, right? So the characteristics, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, then the due diligence part, the numbers, they need to know that there's profit in the deal, okay? And then they need to know, okay, well, what's the fulfillment part? How do I get this offer under contract and where are we going to close? All that information has to be in your marketing, okay? Pictures of the property, the analysis, the due diligence, all that stuff. So anytime we get something under contract, our dispositions go ahead. They actually do three or four different things depending on the deal. It does change slightly, but one of the things we always do is we slap it up on good old Craigslist, right? In the title line, you want to have some key characteristics about the property and then the asking price, so it kind of stands out. And you can see this one, we actually locked this one up for 74.5, I believe it was. Put it out there at 85 for a quick 10 grand. And we got the square footage, let people know it's off market, build 1959. And the reason we put those in is that some buyers are very meticulous about what areas of the city or town you're in, and yet others are meticulous about, well, I only buy things over 1,500 square foot or whatnot, or I don't want to buy anything that's got a realtor attached. So that's why we do that. And we have the older builds too. That information is there because, again, some buyers are very meticulous about, well, I only do this year or newer or what have you. So that's fine. Add that information. And then they want to know the repairs. The repairs is huge, guys, because that tells buyers, where they're going to be at with their numbers. Once they figure out their ARV and they do their due diligence, they are going to subtract out what they believe repairs to be. And I want to show you a very key thing when doing that that's going to help you do some negotiation. I'll actually do another video on negotiating with your buyers. But check this out. So standard, you want a lot of pictures. You want a lot of pictures. Now we have a contractor that goes out and takes the pictures, so we don't have to leave, our office. They just go and do, literally like 100 pictures of the property. So we have everything, we need for the buyer, rather, the buyer has everything they need to make a decision. And then we just kind of have something that pops a little bit. It says one new smoking hot investment property in Glendale. And we have only the partial address. I'll give you a quick tip on that in a second. We have the ARV at 139 and then your price. So guys, again, in the buyer shoes, they're saying, oh my gosh, this is 139. I'm going to make some money here. 85 grand, 139, 7 to 14K in repairs. That came from our contractor, 7,000 for the buy and hold person, 14,000 for the fix and flip, retail ready. Link to your website's a must, okay? And then some key takeaways, not an attorney or CPA, obviously, but we put some things in here that explain that, hey, we have equitable interest in the property. Title company must be XYZ. That's important because we like using our title company. We trust that they're going to close our deals. A $3,000 earnest money deposit is required. That's to make sure that your buyer is serious. Cash or hard money only. So don't just brush over that, guys. Again, title company, very important. You're using our title company. We're locking you in so that we know that everything's going to run smooth at our title company. We've closed there before, and we know their pricing. $3,000 EMD is vetting the buyer, making sure they have, some skin in the game. Cash or hard money, make sure that this person isn't a retail buyer. That shouldn't really happen, but cash or hard money is that for whatever reason a retail buyer was on Craigslist or online, they found the property. This will kind of weed them out to where they go, oh, cash only, I get it. I can't get a bank loan. And then no assignments on the deal is just meaning that, hey, we want you to be the capital buyer here, the principal buyer, and there's going to be no assignments. So again, vetting your buyers very, very, very serious. It saves you a lot of time, so you don't have to deal with tire kickers. Then you want to set a close of escrow date. The reason we do that is you want time is of the essence, and you want to create some sense of urgency. It's not just we're not lollygagging here. This is investment real estate. Got to make sure that buyer is gonna close, gonna act quickly, get you that EMD, and we expect it same day, if not the next day before noon. When we put a property out there, we want your offer, buyers now. We want the offer. We want your EMD if you're serious. We want your the contract, of course, and we want your proof of funds if you're not already on our buyers list. Okay. Then some additional comps, guys, we got from my software, REI Auto Comp, or maybe we put some MLS comps. There's a link there. And then again, it's some a little more information about the property. We actually keep it a little short on Craigslist because it makes more sense to have people go to the website where we can gather their information, offer them to join the buyers list. A couple key things down here is some of our properties obviously have tenants in them, and we want to respect the tenant laws in the state. So we don't allow any drive-bys. We don't allow our buyers to talk to, our sellers. So somebody can't, circumvent you. You just don't want to look in that route. That does happen in the industry. Usually it's guys who are hurting for capital and they really want it, they need a property, they want to take it down, and they'll try to go around you. I've actually had people knock on the doors of our sellers before, and we just remove them from our buyers list. There's no big deal. Just, hey, if you're going to do business that way, bye. Um, Phone number, key, principals only. And then, guys, we started offering JVs. You can offer JVs to folks who want to lend you money. It's a great way to get private lenders, by the way. Boom, that's a little nugget. That's just a Craigslist ad. That's just a simple Craigslist ad. And here's the key takeaway. Don't put the address up there. This is just the way we do business. We don't have our address out there. And we don't do that for two reasons. Number one, on the seller side, imagine that you are a seller of a property and you believe that, hey, I've sold this property, I'm done with it, good to go. That buyer's in escrow, and you or your family member or whomever decides to Google the property. Maybe you wanted to check out the Zillow's estimate, right, which is totally off, and you see your property for sale online. Imagine the confusion. Imagine the mixed emotions you would feel like, what? I just sold this to I thought was a cash buyer. Yeah, that's not going to roll over too well. So we don't do it. We put a generic address because we don't want that. That's not right to the seller. So what we do instead is we actually market to our buyers offline, and that's from our buyers list. We use MailChimp, and we just boom, we send the buyers an email blast. It doesn't go online in terms of here's this property, here's the exact address, here's the seller's name. I mean that you have some privacy, have some a sense of privacy and integrity of the company that you're building, and just block that information. So it just says 67th Avenue in the zip code. What else should a buyer need? That's if they know their price per square foot. If they've been a buyer for a while, most of your buyers, you'll know that the ones that are the wholesalers and the cash buyers and the ones that do the rehabs, you'll get to know them and you'll know who's more serious than others. Nothing wrong with other wholesalers. I wholesale myself. However, you want to vet them the best you can. So on the seller side, again, you don't want to have that ever happen. Imagine the seller calling you upset and angry at you saying, hey, what's going on here? I'm going to sue you or something, right? So take off just the street part, put that up there. And on the buyer side, what's good about the buyer side? Well, now you've actually created a situation where the serious buyers um, are actually going to contact you. They're actually going to go to your website. They're going to join your buyers list. Your buyers list is actually going to be growing because you actually have the best kind of marketing. You have an actual property. And in terms of the buyer as well, um, you don't want, let's assume that you were going to wholesale it and JV it with other buyers and you were okay with wholesalers making an assignment. Um, what you don't want to do on the buyer side is you don't want to have your property at 50 different prices. Forget about the seller finding your property. Imagine how buyers are going to be confused when they see your property at 85, 110, 99,000. Who do they call? They don't know who to call here. Who has it locked up here? So if you ever do the local, sales to other partnerships with other investors, just figure that out. Have that conversation with them in the beginning that, hey, where's the actual profit going to come from? Is it going to come from built into the 85,000, or are they going to lock it up and add their profit above and beyond that like a realtor would? Just have that conversation with each and every other investor you work with. I mean, having coffee somewhere makes sense. Having a meeting on Skype makes sense. Okay. So just a few nuggets there, guys. It's just going to save you so much time and effort in terms of liquidating these properties as fast as possible. So that's just the Craigslist ad. We go to our website. So here you have the site. 62nd Avenue, same thing, right? No address, off market. There's a lot more information here. First of all, we have a lot more pictures, right? But we actually have the link to the recent sales, and this is pretty cool, guys. So, you know, what's for our business, we thought it'd be super cool to just have people download the contract already filled out. So what we do is we actually have their contract with the address, everything already filled out for them, and we let them download it, and they can upload it by submitting their offer. So part of this lightning fast formula is to actually allow them to download the contract so they're not, you know, having using their own contract, and you have to kind of look at it and understand, well, what's going on here? Does it have any clauses and whatnot? Control the deal on the seller side, control the deal on the buyer side. Use your contract, use your purchase and sale on the sell side, if you will, right? So sell side meaning between you, the investor, and the buyer, and fill it out for them, put it on the site, let them download it, and then check this out. When they're ready to make an offer, now you can provide them the full address, of course, once they've joined your buyers list and you've vetted them. They can click submit an offer, and boom. Look, we give them a contract. They can sign it with PDF Escape, DocuSign, or whatever deal they have, and then we give them our title company, and then they just, boom, they actually upload their offer. So imagine being in the dispositions department at your business, and that particular person just takes a look at offers all day. Rule of thumb we use, we don't just go by who's got the highest offer, right? We look at who can close. We want performance. We already know what our profit is. We already know we're going to make $10,000 or 11, whatever it was on this deal. That's gross, by the way. We paid for that's a probate deal where we did. We paid for the attorney's cost. Seller was super happy. Um, but yeah, we want to make sure when we get these offers, who's actually going to close. The way we know that, who is the first person to get the EMD down there? Who was the first person to get our contract signed? Didn't give us a hassle. $1,000 more, $10,000 more, we don't look at that. Just get the job done. That's integrity. That's making sure you're taking care of your seller at the end of the day. Another quick thing I just want to kind of show you is you can send flyers. We use MailChimp, but we used to use a service called Real Yields. They're now debunked, and they just stopped offering the service. But this was pretty cool. They had these really awesome flyers, but some key takeaways, like I mentioned earlier, guys. Um, Here's a deal we did like 4 years ago. We sold it. We bought it for 19 under contract with it was a probate deal as well. And we sold it for 29 and or 27. And key takeaway is the property description, right? bedroom, bathroom, square footage, property information. That's very key for the buyer. And then the elements of, okay, well, if I take this down, what's sort of my return going to be if I use hard money or my own cash? And we really liked using real yields because we do that. Now we have to kind of make up our own. You could use postlets. There's another one called, it's on our site actually. Let me go to the blog for you guys. Go to resources here. You can build something like that where you can actually show the return and stuff like that with, let's see if it's on here. It's going to be marketing online here. S'more. You can use S'more. So S'more, you get like a free account and you can make a flyer, an elegant flyer for your properties. You can put them all over the place. And it's just really good to have. If you don't already have like a website, for example, like we do, or you don't use MailChimp, and you just want to make a flyer and email people, kind of do it the starter packet, right? So you would get the contract, you would make the S'more deal, and just email your buyer from your Gmail account if you don't have an email blast. That's sort of the beginning way to do it. Because I know this may look a little sophisticated for you guys, like, well, what if I don't have a website? That's okay. Just kind of think, template it back a little bit, think a little bit more simpler. I can use my Gmail account. I can send this contract to this buyer, and they can just email me back. When you step up your game, though, have a website ready to go. Have the ability to upload. We use Wufoo forms, which if I entered this in here, you'd hit next. At the very end, it allow them to send their EMD picture of their EMD that we have them take a picture of it, that they actually have a $3,000 EMD. That shows that it's not just a generic EMD that they're using over and over and over. It's a fresh EMD with their company name. It's got a date. Um, Proof of funds, of course. They can upload that and they upload the offer. All right, so high-end stuff, guys. That's how I'm able to do, the properties that we're able to do each and every month with my team because we have this all, systemized. And I hope you do the same. So once you get the contract, guys, then there's some negotiation process. I'll do a separate video for that to help you guys do that. But the main thing in this video is that's how you market the property. And it's going to be Craigslist. That's your online marketing. You're welcome to go old school if you want. You can do a postcard or a bandit sign outside somewhere saying in that neighborhood, hey, fixer upper, ARV this, call this phone number. But that actually takes too much time for me. I just like it doing, fast. But if you're in a rural part of the country and you just want to do some bandit signs, 10, 20 bandit signs with fixer upper on it and a phone number, that's sort of the offline way to do it. But online, you have email blasts, you have Craigslist, you have websites, real estate related websites and blogs you can go to market the property that way too, which is super cool. But any way you can, get everybody to your site. Like go build a site on Weebly or Wix, get everyone to the site. That's where you want the hub of your information. They can see your other properties, and that's going to sell them. The cherry on top would be a thing like Real Yields or S'more, where you can actually, show them the due diligence parts, the characteristics that I mentioned earlier, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, all that sort of stuff. Then you want the due diligence. Always have pictures. Always have comps, right? And then your contact information and those disclosures. Okay, contact information meaning your website, your buyer line, all that good stuff, and your title company. So guys, that's how you sell a property, market and sell a property lightning fast with that quick formula. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, visit the YouTube channel or the website. We have a little contact deal there. Other than that, have yourself a blessed day and take care.